Hi, my name is Teresa Tims, and I am president of TDR Mortgage in Upland, California. I've been doing mortgages since 1998, and I love my job, and I love real estate, and I work with people who buy homes all the time. I primarily do mortgages, and I also work with lots of agents that list homes and help people find houses. A lot of times a buyer will come to me, and just knowing what I know about mortgages and real estate, I will partner with a realtor to come to a successful close on a transaction. So I've done over 1,900 transactions in my career. So I have a lot of experience in transactions. So I have a lot to say about this subject. How to pick a realtor. How do you know if the realtor you're working with is actually experienced? Aside from the polished outfit or cars or website or social media presence, how do you really know this person is truly qualified to represent you in one of the biggest transactions of your life? So I'm just going to get started here with my list. I'm happy to share this list with you. If you leave me a message, I can contact you and send this list over to you. So one of the things that TDR Mortgage specializes in is we show our borrowers how to navigate the real estate process easily. We do that by prudent diligence and helping you make smart, confident decisions when buying, selling, and refinancing. So first, I like to start with, are they licensed? Are they a licensed agent? You would be surprised by how many people transact in the state of California that aren't licensed. So on the form that I have, the checklist, it has links to where you can check out all of the things that I'm going to share with you right now. Are they a realtor or are they a real estate broker? So are they a licensed real estate agent or are they a licensed real estate broker? What is the difference and why is it important? And I myself personally, I'm a licensed real estate broker, and in my field, I'm always wanting to push for excellence in my trade, and I want to attain the highest level possible that I can. That's a preference thing on my part. You know, I like shiny, new, I like certifications and licenses, and I like the knowledge that it brings, which allows me to benefit my client more. Now, I do know a lot of realtors that do not have their broker's license that are phenomenal, top notch. So I don't think that either one of those things is a deal killer, but it's definitely something to know. Hi, Stephen. How are you today? Okay, are they licensed? We've got that link lookup. Do they have any license infractions? Have they been naughty? You know, that's always fun to know if someone is, not only are they licensed, but, you know, have they gotten in trouble by infracting on certain laws and regulations? So what are people saying about this realtor or broker? So, and not just on Yelp, you know, Yelp's not the only review platform. You have Google, you have Zillow, Bing, Facebook, you know, get a general view of what people are saying and really read the reviews to get a good idea. Do they call you or text you back in a timely fashion? I mean, that's really, really important. If you've got an agent that's listing your house and that person is not calling you back, do you think they're going to be calling back the other agents that are calling to inquire on your property? And in real estate, that's just a thing. You know, you answer your phone. Were they easy to find when you Googled their name? I would think that in this day and age, you should be able to put in that person's name, find out all about them. Their website should pop up. Their phone number should be easy, clear, concise. If they're going to be listing your home, you should see evidence that they're a listing agent, that they have experience listing properties. Do they even have a website? I think like, it's funny sometimes. you'll go searching for somebody and they don't have a website. I don't personally understand that. You know, your website has so much information, and in this day and age, often it's a calling card. You know, you get to put on there your why. You know, why should a buyer pick you to represent them? As a seller, why should they pick you to list their home? To me, I think a website is very, very important. How long have they been in business? Well, with all of the transactions that I've been involved in, I find it most beneficial to the buyer or the seller that the agent have a minimum of 3 years under the belt, preferably 5. Someone on another call brought up a good point that, is it time or is it number of transactions? And I honestly think it's both. You know, if somebody has been licensed for 10 years, but they've only done, one transaction a year, that does not make a realtor. That does not make someone that is going to represent you in the utmost fashion. Now, somebody that is been an agent for a year or two, they have a lot of transactions under their belt. They're a hustler. You know, they might not know how to solve every problem, but a person like that is going to have enough wherewithal to find out how to solve that problem. So I think that the tips that I'm giving you, you have to look at them all in a complete package and then, make your decision. But just having this information and being able to, sit down and be on the phone or even in person with this agent to be able to ask them these questions is very powerful. They should be happy to answer. I know I would be, because who doesn't like to talk about themselves and kind of brag? So, all of these things are fundamental things that an agent with any wherewithal or experience would be easy to answer. Are they full-time? Why is this important? So I think that, when you're working any kind of professional, do you go to a financial planner that's part-time? Do you go to a doctor that's part-time? So our profession is one that is of, we're handling people's finances on the mortgage side. On the real estate side, you're handling a very, very valuable asset, and you want that person to be available on a professional level. So that's why I think that a full-time agent is the best choice. However, again, rules, right? There are exceptions to the rules. I do currently work with a couple of part-time agents that are fantastic. I had one agent go out in a very hard price range and go out and get an offer accepted on multiple offer situation, and he knocked it out of the park. So it's, again, not cut or dry. I prefer full-time. Okay, so this is kind of a big one for me. Do they work as an individual or do they work as a team? And if they work as a team, you need to ask the question, you may be meeting with the team leader that's got 20 years experience, but what about this team leader when they pass you off or hand you off to one of the sales professionals on their team, such as a buyer's agent? So this buyer's agent that you're going to be working with, how long have they been a buyer's agent? How many transactions have they been through? Do they know how to write an offer on their own? Do they need someone to handhold them? If an agent needs handholding on how to write an offer, that's not a good sign. It's really not a good sign. I mean, we all have to start somewhere though, right? We all have to start somewhere. But me personally, I want to work with the person that has the breadth of knowledge, that has the experience. I found that with these teams comes a lot of clusterfuckery. I don't know how else to say it, but there's so many people on the team. Nothing really moves too efficiently. Sellers and buyers often get, pushed to the sidelines while they're pursuing their bigger endeavors of doing, be 100+ producers and, list 20 properties and close 20 properties a month. I personally prefer an individual agent that is going to be the one showing the house, listing the house, the one handling problems when they come up. Things come up. Things come up on real estate transactions all the time, like a lot. And when you have somebody, when I'm working with professionals, people that are really problem solvers, that have a lot of transactions under their belt, who have years of experience, those kind of situations that come up, they're so easy to get through. It's like cutting butter with a hot knife, just easy. When you're dealing with inexperienced people that really don't know what they're doing, it's so painful, and it's a huge disservice to the buyer or to the seller. My ideal situation is an agent that works with a transaction coordinator, and maybe they have another partner and they play off each other with their listings and their buyers. But I personally like that one agent that uses a transaction coordinator. That's kind of like this, what I think is the sweet spot. So another question to ask is, do they specialize in buying or selling? You know, there's a thing, there's a technique when it comes to working with buyers and having the patience to show buyers multiple properties. I know a lot of people that are really great listing agents, but they suck at being a buyer's agent. So you want to ask, hey, how many listings did you do last year? How many buyers did you work with? And those again, that's one of the things that they should be able to come back very quickly and not just kind of look up in the sky. And so if you're buying a house, if this listing agent works with buyers, great. But if it's a listing agent that really doesn't work with buyers, it might be a little painful getting that agent to show you over and over and have the patience to guide you through that process. Okay, what else? What's next on my top tips to find the best agent to work for in California? Okay, so I went over how many transactions did they do last year. Okay, this is a biggie for me. Okay, mic drop right now. So you're working with a real estate agent that is going to list your $1 million house or help you buy a $2 million house or even a $100,000 house. Do they own a home? Do they even own a home? Do they own investment property? I've always had this disconnect with people in my profession that dole out real estate advice and, you know, talk or teach people how to do stuff, but they don't even do it. So I don't know, it's a little bit of a pet peeve. Although I do know really great agents, like some amazing agents that don't own a house for, you know, things happen, right? Things come up in our personal lives that, you know, prevent us from being homeowners sometimes. But I would prefer to work with somebody that has experience owning real estate in California. Okay, so hey, this is one that really never comes up. It's not really talked about. If you're buying a house and you're working with a real estate agent, that agent gets paid from the listing side of things. So the seller offers a commission to the buyer's agent, but sometimes that buyer's agent tacks on additional fees. So are they going to tack that on and charge that fee to you? Kind of like I know a lot of companies do it, so I don't want to talk too much smack about it, but I'm like, okay, you're already getting your $10,500. So do you have to charge a transaction fee for the buyer when you're already getting that nut? You know, you're already getting that commission. It's a preference thing, so some agents do, some agents don't, but I've seen recently, I've seen like a $495 transaction fee and then like a $250 legal fee. Well, that's like $750. That's kind of a lot. And then that gets added on to our fees, what you're paying as a buyer. So I think going into it, it's good to know, do they, you know, pass along that transaction coordinator fee to you on top of everything else that you have to come up with. Okay. And the last two things I think are no-brainers. I mean, given after you've talked to a couple of people or 3 people, usually you don't talk to more than 2 or 3 agents, and you've gone through this checklist, they've answered your questions, and they've given pretty good answers. At the end of the day, it comes down to two things. Two things. Do you like them? And do you trust them? Don't ever do business with someone that you don't like or trust. So when you're talking to the agent and getting a feel for them, you're going to be working pretty intimately with these realtors in for 30, 60, 90 days. So I think that's a really important, and go with your gut. Go with that feeling that we get sometimes that tells us not to do something, but we do it anyway. I do that all the time. But in a real estate transaction, really go with your gut. And if you get a bad feeling, you need to listen to yourself and just be intuitive in that respect. Let's see, do I have any questions here? Some comments? All right. Well, y'all are so kind to join in with me on this Friday night. I meant to do this earlier, and I've been practicing my live skills too. So, hey, if you're looking to buy or sell in Southern California, you can pick up that phone and give us a call at 909-920-3500, and let me help guide you to some of the best professionals in the area. Have a good night. Yes, I want to end it.